Hello everyone, Carmine from New York here. We will be discussing the settings that I used to take the night photographs on the video right before I did this one, right? So I did a video a day or two ago about night photography in Manhattan when Harry Styles was in town, and there were an extra 50,000 people in that little area around West 34th Street and Madison Square Garden. Now, the first thing you have to do is subscribe to the channel. The button is right down here. Just hit the little red box and subscribe because it's free and you'll make me happy. All right, let's continue. That area of Manhattan, Madison Square Garden, on the 8th Avenue side, right? West 34th, I think it's 8th Avenue, right? Is lit like daytime when there's an event going on, because all the buildings there have their lights on, their colorful LED lights, and you have the main post office there, and it's just a very well lit area, which makes it perfect for night photography where you can use a nice high shutter speed without a tripod. So in that video, I showed that I had all gaffer's tape all over this Olympus OMD e-m10, because anytime you're in public in Manhattan like that, there are thugs that will take your equipment away from you. In other words, you will get robbed. So you have to minimize your chances of being a victim. And if it only takes a little bit of gaffer's tape to cover up anything shiny, then do it. 2 little pieces like that. This way, you're not broadcasting that, hey, this might be worth a lot of money if I go to a pawn shop and sell it. Okay? So that's why I cover up whenever I'm doing street photography here in New York City. So the reason I'm making this video, which is all about the settings that I used, is because after I uploaded the video on the night photography a day or two ago, which is still up, you guys, I'll put a link below. I had got so many emails. Carmine, please give us the settings that you used. Okay. Instead of me typing them all out or putting them next to the photographs, this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to tell you the settings, and then we'll look at the photographs that I took using those settings. Yes, some of them are from the earliest video, but now you'll have a more clear idea of how to take them for yourself. So let's get into it. First thing, these settings are for this particular street photography shoot. These are not the settings to take pictures of the galaxies, right? To take moon pictures. Those are different settings. This is for settings in Manhattan where it's well lit at night. Okay? These settings are very particular. Okay? I was taking street photographs in an area that was very well lit with a camera, the Olympus OMD e-m10. Oh, by the way, this is Mark 1. There is no such thing as Mark 1, right? It's not on here anywhere, Mark 1. It's the original. It's not the Mark 2 or any other version. This is the original. Okay. And the lens is the 14 to 150. No optical image stabilization. The camera has IBIS, in-body image stabilization. Now, the 14 to 150 lens on here, don't forget, since the crop factor is 2 times, right? This is actually a 28 to 300 millimeters. Look at this. 300 millimeter lens on this little lightweight camera. This is why I love Micro Four Thirds Olympus cameras and lenses. It's the form factor. And don't forget, on this camera, I added this extra grip on the bottom. Okay? You just push the button up, oops, sorry, down, and look at this. So I can make this even smaller. And I can make this even smaller. Now look. Now look at the form factor on this camera. Oh, and this piece would come off too. This is the holder for the, it's on the floor. That's the holder for the hand grip. It's a non-battery hand grip. Okay, it's Olympus. Okay, all metal. Okay, so now look at the form factor compared to my hand. Okay, 28 to 300 millimeters. Even if you put it all the way out, this is a 300 millimeter lens. Okay, now why a zoom lens? Now you guys know I'm over 155 classes already. You know that prime lenses are better. Zoom lenses have more glass, more elements, and it steals light and it steals information. But the zoom lens for this photo shoot was important because you'll notice and you'll see right now the photos. When you're taking a zoom picture, you take the camera, I put it on top of a garbage can. No tripod. I took no tripod. Okay? I had the ISO on auto ISO with a range of 200 on the low end and 24,000 on the high end. That gave me the average shutter speed that night was like 1/125th of a second. And with IBIS, the built-in image stabilization, I was hand holding pictures all night, except in the rare instance when I went to shutter priority. I put it on 1 second. I popped out the screen, made it this way, put the camera on top of the garbage can, which are all over in the city, right? And then on the 1 second exposure, I would focus on the building, especially Madison Square Garden. Focus, right, on autofocus single. And then as I'm taking the photograph, I would start the zoom process first before you press the shutter, right? You start zooming, press the shutter, click, click. So you get that's how you get those light streaks from a building, right? The building's not moving, the zoom lens is moving. And then I would do it reverse. I would zoom all the way in, shutter priority, 1 second, start the zoom process first, click, click, and that's how you get this. It basically looks the same but different when you get the light streaks from the building. You'll see those pictures right now. Okay, let's put the... Oh, I also used the flippy screen to take, I like to call them undercover pictures, when I didn't want people to know I was photographing them. You're going to see photographs of people coming up and down from the subway stairs. Now, if you're coming up from a subway stairs in Manhattan at night, and you see me, I'm over 6 foot, 250 pounds, standing at the top of the stairs. If you saw me like this, you would maybe turn around and walk away. You don't know what the hell's going on. But I didn't have it like this. I just had the camera right around my neck and looking down, and sometimes I had my phone in my other hand, right, just looking at the phone, but I can see what's going on the flippy screen, right? So I'm just make nonchalant, and then as soon as I look, click, and don't forget, the shutter is near silent on a Micro Four Thirds camera because it has no mirror going ping pong, ping pong. Deadly silent. You'll see those photographs right now. Okay. Let's see. What else did I wanted to tell you? Okay, the light meter. I had it set on digital ESP light metering. Now, this is an incredible virtue of the Olympus OMD e-m10 camera. When you set it on digital ESP light metering, it has 300 324 spots, 324 spots on their frame that it meters from, all in a millionth of a second. And it determines what the overall exposure should be. I didn't get one poorly exposed photograph. 324 points it meters and then determines what's the best exposure. It's very important because when you're photography, you'll see the photos right now. You'll have a big bright sign. Say this, what you're looking at is the frame, right? You'll have a big bright sign over here, a billboard. And you'll have a dark area over here, a side street. And then you'll have a dark street this way. And then you'll have bright street lights here. It takes all of this into consideration, 324 points. And then it gives you perfect exposure. And by the way, I am not an Olympus ambassador. I don't work for them. They don't even know me. I bought my cameras. All right? I'm just telling you what's happening out there in the world with these incredible cameras. Okay, let's keep going. Like I said, I use autofocus, single frame, single point. Generally, I don't really keep it dead center. Like if this is the frame, once again, right? Say this is dead center here. I keep it up, 1 or 2 boxes up. Because if you want to photograph a person, right, and you have their face centered, right, you'll miss half their body. But if you have it up here, right, and you put their face here, you'll get more of their body. This is a little tip, 50 years experience as a photographer. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, this sign up here, we made it 700,000 views. You can check anybody's channel, how many views they have. You just go to their channel, and on the top, you'll see buttons for, that say About, A-B-O-U-T. Just click on it, and you'll see how many views that particular channel has. Believe me, there are channels, photography channels out there that are in the millions of views. Someday, if you guys click subscribe, someday we'll be there. Okay, it's either here or it's over here. I forget where I put it. The subscribe button. Just hit it. Okay. So, like I said, I didn't have a tripod. Tripods in street photography at night in Manhattan, you might as well just put up a flag that says, "Come steal all my stuff." Okay? Try and travel on the subway, all right, with a tripod without giving signals away that you got photo gear. Okay? That's more than a couple of dollars. No tripod. My tripod, for the very few pictures that I needed it on, my long exposures, shutter priority, 1 second, there are garbage pails everywhere in Manhattan. I just rested it on top. Put the flippy screen out, click, took the picture. 1 second long. That's how I got those pictures of, you see like a ghost people. You see their feet, and then you don't see their body. That's fun. They're just fun pictures. Okay? So, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Highly recommended. Okay? The Olympus OMD e-m10 Mark 1 or original, right? And this lens, the 14-150. Guys, 28 millimeters to 300 millimeters. And, okay, some of you guys said stop using your hand and use a ruler. Okay? Here. With the camera and this lens, the 14-150, I'm going to give you a real measurement right now. Okay? 7.5 inches. To the eyepiece. 7.5 inches. Okay? When you have it on the 14 millimeter setting or 28 millimeter, okay, it's 5 inches. Guys, let me just see. 5 inches. That's it. 5 inches. This is a teeny camera. Oh, and what about the back, the width? It's a 4.5-inch camera. 4.5 inches, guys. Come on. This is incredible. This is so light. This is light as a feather. But don't be that photographer that says heavy is better. You know, that's like thinking back in the 50s. When people would go, let me put this down. People would go to the paint store to buy paint to paint their house. And you had Dutch Boy, and you had Sherwin-Williams, and you had Sears had their own brand, right? In the 50s, people would go to the paint store, and they didn't know which one was better, right? This is white paint, this is white paint, this is white paint, all different brands. They used to pick up the can of paint and see which one was heavier. The heavier one meant it had to be better, right? It's heavier. It's got more stuff. You know what that was in there? Clay. The paint manufacturers were not stupid. They knew you were going to go in there and do a weight comparison. They would dump China clay into the paint. It did nothing for the paint other than make it chalky. So when you rubbed your hand on it, you'd have all white chalk on your fingers after it dried. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that says a heavy camera is a better camera. This is light as a feather. You will see, if you didn't see in my previous video, you will see right now the images that this produces. Okay? I've already sold 5 images from that video that you're going to see right now. Try and pick out which images I sold. Okay? So, let's look at the photographs right now of night photography. Now that you know the settings, you have a better idea of what you're looking at, right? Thank you again. 700,000 views. Let's keep going. Let's go subscribe. Email me, blackandwhitephoto@aol.com. Ask me any question you have about photography. I get now that I have over 155 videos on photography out there, I get a ton of emails. Let me tell you something. I checked it out. Do you know how many photography YouTube channels give you openly their email address? Like 1%. 1%. They don't want to hear from you. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. A lot of people don't like to put stuff in the comments. They're very private. Just send me an email and I'll answer your email. And if I don't know the answer, I'll research it. I'll ask my fellow photographers, my colleagues. We'll come up with the answer and I'll get back to you. Ask anyone that's sent me an email. It's like, hey, did he ever get back to you? People send me their emails with attached photographs. Like, could you critique this? What am I doing wrong? This is why I'm here. 50 years experience. I'm here to share my knowledge to you for free. Speaking of free, my website, carminetaverna.com, is a website where I don't sell anything. It's just a website that has, I think I last counted 4,000 images that I took. And most of them have the gear I used, so you can see the photograph and you can read the equipment. And in your mind, you could start putting things together like, oh, I'd like to try that in my town or my country, wherever I am. Okay? CarmineTaverna.com is my free website. It's just for ideas. You can't buy anything. I don't sell anything. blackandwhitephoto@aol.com. Email me any question and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And if you want, comment below. This way, everybody will share equally your question and my answer. Okay? Let's look at the night photographs I took just recently. I think it was Thursday night, just like, 2 nights ago. All right, here in Manhattan. Let's look at the photographs.